Alright, we know most of you want to see this. But before we do that, let's start with getting this job prepped, showing you what it looks like before we tear it apart. We have a hall bathroom remodel. We've got a big glass block wall back there that's going to be knocked out, and we're going to shrink that window down so that it's going to be like a 48 inch by 16 inch up top. Tub surround comes out, whole tub's coming out actually. Toilet's coming out, vanity comes out, floor comes out. We're redoing the lighting. So we're gonna have drywall patchwork in here. We're getting new fixtures all over. We're gonna have a new tub shower combo. So that's what we've got on the docket for today. Now, just like always, we wanna make sure that the house is prepped so that we're not taking our construction site and pushing it into the rest of the house. So let's get to it. All right, we're getting the X-board down from the entryway to the bathroom, getting the vent covered up along with the threshold, and then we decided to put some X-board down in the room across the hall as well because we're going to be staging tools and materials over there. Getting the chandelier pulled out, starting pulling apart the cabinetry, and then we start working on the mirror, which you can't see behind the wall, but it has a frame on it and it was not cooperating. So we decided to grab some plastic, tape that up there, and then break all the glass out to make it safer, easier, all that good stuff. So get that cleaned up and then start working on pulling apart the sink, get the lines disconnected in there, and then start working on the countertop. Take a phone call to start working on selling our next jobs, make sure that's going well, and then it's back to it, get that thing out of there, and then just continue to pull the cabinetry apart because they had it in multiple pieces. So got that all done and out of there, and then we're moving on to the shower. So learning from our last shower project, decided to just break out the demo hammer right from the jump and start knocking all that tile off the wall. And then same thing, the tub's going, so just dump it all in there and then we'll trash it out after that. So getting that all wrapped up, and then the concrete board, we had to use the pry bar just to get it off there because it's got a lot more flexibility to it, but that pulled off pretty much in one large piece, and then started just pulling off the drywall that's underneath. They kind of did a hybrid system where they did the drywall, then the concrete board on top of it, rather than just doing concrete board, which made it thicker, but hey, it works. So now we're taking out the glass block on the wall. So everything, we had to start by breaking the first row or two that you saw on there, and then after that we were able to kind of, for the most part, just pull those suckers out of there. So get those out, get those guys cleaned up, and then there we go. Alright guys, little progress update. We've got everything demoed out, everything's been torn out for the shower floor. We've left the toilet in this for right now. That'll be the last thing we're going to take out before we come to do the floor, just so that we can have construction use of this toilet before we need to start using it anywhere else. But we've got this area framed in, and I probably talked about, or no, I didn't talk about it on the time lapse because there was no time lapse for this. This is going to be our window up top that's been framed in. We've got it on the block, so it's 8-inch block. We're going to do 4-inch block on the outside. We've got our header that is directly underneath the top plate, and that's why we can support it like that. And then we're going to have window here, niche here, everything else around it is going to get filled in. We'll rework our shower valve. We're just going to do a typical tub shower valve for our tub that goes here, and then the spout that was up by that light is now gone. So nothing important on that wall, no one cares. Anyways, backing up, we deleted the light that was in this location, and then we also deleted the two lights that were here, and then the chandelier. So this is the vestige of that wire, but that's been completely removed. So what we're able to do is take the wire from this can light, push it over here to add to our 3 4-inch can lights. So everything is now on a dimmer in the box, and we'll look at that in a second. And we were essentially able to do the same thing here, jump this wire over there, and then add another can light in that area. So looking at this area real quickly, we had our GFI that used to sit right here, and then what we ended up doing, or it was right here, sorry, we ended up jumping that up to right here, and So we've got our feeder that goes over to this one. We're going to swap this out to a GFI because this is going to be our outlet behind the lighted mirror. And then we got this on a GFI because we've got two, it's branching off of this single circuit and they're not continuous from each other. But let's see. Yeah, so now they've got a convenience plug that's not sitting right behind their faucet and doesn't make sense. So that's why we've got that, but we just got to swap this one out to a GFI, and I only had the one with me today. And then I'll have Ethan swing around in here to take a look at this box right here. So we went from a lot of half switches that was a 2-gang box, and now we're at a 3-gang box because they had it where it was chandelier, light, fan, and then shower, and that's how you got your 4 in a 2-gang box. But now we just went to 3. We've got our 2 dimmers there. I apparently can't find my switch either for just the fan that we're going to put in the middle, but everything is on dimmers now, so we can control if it feels like it's too bright in here. You can control all of that, and then the shower and the main lights are separate from each other. We've got plumber coming in next, and then we've got a little bit of framing for the tub to do before that, some drywall backing, and then we can start closing up walls. But yeah, that's it for now. All right, guys, we have an update here for our Lafayette bathroom. We've got drywall done in here. We've just got some sanding that needs to be completed. We've got our block wall that has been rebuilt, so that's all done. We've got our nice opening for the window, so we're gonna start the prep for the wall surround. So we've got some cleanup that we'll get done in here before we get rolling with that, but that's gonna be our next stage of the project, and we'll see you here momentarily. What's going on, guys? We have wrapped up our Lafayette project over here, so let's take a look. We have everything done in the bathroom, new vanity, mirror, whole shower area. So let's take a look over here first. We've got the penny tiles on the wall that tie into the back of the niche. We've got our window over there. It's a 2-tone like the rest of the house. So obviously we're looking at the white here, but the exterior is gonna be black. We've got a heavy duty shower door. So sometimes you'll see shower doors like this that are a lot shorter, and they've got 1/4 inch or smaller glass. Sometimes it might be 1/8 inch, and you can twist those suckers. But we went with the 3/8 inch glass. So this is a heavy duty shower door on here. We've got black hardware and finishes all over to match. Tub looks great in there. So really happy with how that whole area came out. You got a nice close up of my forearm. So tile flows from the shower area down into the floor, and then we even have the same directional tile going with the baseboard down there. It's a semi-custom tile, so it's not fully rectified, which means it's not perfect tile with how square it is, but that's the difference in the tiles itself. New toilet, because everyone loves their toilets. One of the things that, this is kind of just nerd stuff real quick, on these I can't speak right now. On these toilet paper holders, usually when you have a single post, they want to dip over time. So what we actually do is we'll set ours out of level the opposite way. So as it settles, we hope that it settles into level. It doesn't matter if you're setting those things directly into studs, into wood, whatever. We've tried it all. It always seems to have a little bit of drop off over time. So that's why we cheat it the other way, so that it settles into more of a level spot. So now let's take a look at the vanity. Went with the white cabinetry in here, and then the black hardware and the black faucet to finish. If you guys remember, we had the outlet that was like right here behind where the faucet was, and we got that bumped out to the side. Now both of these are GFIs, and if you understand how GFIs work, typically if that one feeds that one's also GFI protected. But since we ended up moving the master outlet and we're splitting off of both of them, we had both of them be GFI outlets. Now, the reason why we split it is because as we look at our happy mirror here, you'll notice there's some lights in there. It's because we have a nice oversized lighted mirror, and my camera is out of level. There we go. Anyways, the nice part is, I'm gonna cycle through this real quickly. we have a couple functions on the lighting so that you can choose the light that you want. And then it also has a function where you can adjust the brightness and bring it up and then also bring it back down. It also has a cool anti-fog function on there. So as you get a lot of steam from a hot shower, that will help, there we go. That will help remove that on the mirror. So really happy with the size of the mirror, especially just because it's a large area and it kind of helps that whole space. So super happy with how everything turned out. Turning you around. Super happy with how everything turned out in this bathroom. If you guys like it, please give us a thumbs up, throw a comment down below, and then we'll see you on the next project.